Hey guys, so we're back with another episode of Skate 3. We're doing a one-up contest right now with I don't know who this guy is. Jerry? Let's see, Jerry? Joey. Joey Budinski. Oh, I know Joey Budinski. A little bit of Joey Budinski. Anyway, I've heard of him. But yeah, we were talking about VHS tapes and like the FBI warnings and how they got like real damn like real specific by the end. Because at the beginning it was like you cannot distribute this in whole part or you can't distribute this in any parts, whatever, and it was very like very general. Not that it was bad, but it was general. So you could argue with the whole, hey, but I only recorded like 10 minutes of this, and I never distributed it to anybody, or I never gave it to I never sold it. I gave it to like my neighbor, but I never sold it. I gave it to my friend, but never sold it. That kind of thing. Right? But then by the end, it was like, nope, no, no, no. They like cracked down and they were like, you cannot you cannot reproduce this in whole or part in any way, shape, or form. Like, okay. And then it was like, you cannot distribute this in any way, shape, or form, whether for monetary value, monetary gain or not. And I was like, oh, it really changed the game then. But yeah, so yeah, stuff scared. Well, that didn't scare me too bad because we used to just do it all the time. And that was the thing. I never did anything with them. That's the thing. So I could argue. Could have argued like, well, I never did anything with them, so I'm okay. I never sold them. I never did anything with them. I didn't pirate movies, so it wasn't like I didn't give it to my friends. I didn't do any of that stuff. I'm gonna lose again. Look at me, I lost again. Okay, I'm done. I'm not doing this crap anymore. I'm done. But yeah, so yeah, that kind of stuff like scared the living badonkadonks off of me. I was like, whoa. Well, that didn't necessarily, but well, what's it called? Did the garage door has to open, of course. But yeah, more of the like any internet type of thing. You cannot like this cannot be played outside of whatever. That scared stuff. Like in like arcade cabinets, if they said stuff like this cannot be played outside of Japan or fined or whatever it might be, you know. Because the FBI things didn't really scare me because could at least I did it and I could make the excuse of like, well, I never did anything with them, so it's fine. And I'm sure every kid under the sun had freaking hundreds and hundreds of thousands of those VHS tapes. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I'm sure it's absolutely insane. How many they had? It was just crazy. They had so many though. I mean, cause okay, I want to tell you something right now. Okay, I'll explain how it works. Okay, I had I'm stuck here. I had at least 600. I'm telling you, 600 VHS tapes. Okay, a quarter to half of those were taped off TV or taped or copies of movies. I'm not even kidding. It was insane. Because this is what we did. We would take a movie out at the movie rental, right, at the video store, right? And then my dad would one day just be like, and this was almost every movie we did. He'd be like, hey, VHS, obviously, but like, just record it. Because we had a dual VCR setup. So it was like one on top and one on the bottom. And like connected, right? Oh no. What did I do? No. Dang, okay. No. Okay, good. Right? And so we would just eventually be like, okay, now record it. I had so many movies. I watched the most bizarre movies ever, and then we would record, we'd record them and we'd have copies of them. My mom got rid of 99% of that, and to this day, I'm still like, Mom, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? Because now there are so many movies that I look up and they just vanished off the face of the earth. So you've got like Mousetrap, which I mean you can watch that on like You can find a website to watch that on. Or Mouse Hunt. I always get that wrong. Mouse Hunt. Or like there was Super Babies 2, and there was like these weird movies, or like or these things where it's like, but where am I gonna find that movie, or where am I gonna watch that episode of whatever? Like with Star Wars, right? There was the Star Wars, the Clone Wars, but the original Star Wars, the Clone Wars, right? But the thing with that was it was the better Star Wars, the Clone Wars. People can argue with that, right? But anyway. But yeah, and so like, where are you gonna find that? Star Wars. What's it called? Disney ain't gonna stream that on Disney Plus. No, they're not gonna do that. Maybe eventually, maybe someone's gonna be like, hey, do that one. Right? But I don't think you're gonna see that anytime soon. So like, that was one of the things that if you had a copy of that somewhere, it would be great. It'd be one of those like, oh man, you know, just a lot of those movies that I would never. You go, where would you find that? Where are you supposed to find that? How am I supposed to watch that now? I mean, sure, I could look up somewhere, but I don't know because like you're like, you know what I mean? So it was just kind of like, you're kidding me, damn it, dang it. Oh well. So that was the thing. Still to this day, go, what were you thinking, Mom? Why do I have to hit that stupid? I get it. No, you gotta grind, of course. But anyway, so yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's horrible, but I mean, that's the thing. There's so many obscure movies that are just gonna get lost into lost to time just because like nobody actually like, because it's like, where do I find that movie now? How do I, even if you wanted to back up movies, you know, right? Backup movies, you just couldn't find the movies. It was a quote I heard once. It was 90% of it was 90% of movies before 1930 are are gone, lost to time, just gone, just lost forever. And so it's very much one of those like, ee, jeez, it's like, what do you do now? And people like know of these movies too. That's the thing. So it's not like these weird movies that are lost forever, right? You just like cease to remember them, and people are like, oh, they're at least they're forgotten, so at least whatever. No, there's a lot of these, or there's at least a few of these movies that are like, well, there was that movie that was made like in the 1920s. Yeah, but it's lost forever. Which isn't the, well, I mean, it's bad. I was gonna say it's not the worst thing. It's bad, but it's just that like there's still movies to this day that are still getting lost to time. Yeah, which is, you know, it's inevitable. You can't, it's gonna happen. That's the thing. You're just gonna forget about a movie, and because I want to make a movie, and I just hope that my movie is remembered as a good movie, and not just like one of those movies that someone sees once, or like, or just kind of doesn't do great in a movie theater, and just like gets lost into time because like, well, it's okay. Because that's the thing. To me, it's like, oh, I hope there's at least a small amount of people who are like, yeah, I love that movie, or at least that's a good movie. That's a good watchable, entertaining movie. My movie I'm gonna make. So I don't need like it to be the biggest movie ever, and I don't need to have some giant quote following later. But like, yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to at least have some people come to me and be like, "You're the guy who made that movie. Oh, I love that movie." Or, "Oh, that movie. I love that movie." That kind of thing. So yeah, yeah. So there's just a lot of those movies. That's the thing. Like a lot. They just, oh, why'd you hit me? But yeah, I'm just never gonna. And then there are those things that you remember, for a fact because you have the visions in your head of all of these things, but for some reason, but you cannot remember the name for whatever reason you cannot remember the name. You're like, yeah, that movie with God and the fun, mama, you better, or that game, or that app, or that whatever, that flash game, or that, you know, that whatever. Doesn't matter what it is, just that whatever. So I think that'll be it for now, guys. So